Keep it around for the solar panels, but that engine's now dead. Well, for what it's worth, but I am streaming the YouTube too. I just don't remember. It's either maglinjosvinn or maglinjosvinn. It should be. It should be streaming to there. I'm guessing maybe I need to start going to 40,000 for my aero brakes, but I'm worried about using up too much ablative, whatever. Because I mean, shaved 500,000 meters. Yeah, 500,000 meters off my trajectory, but having some dropped frames from my streaming software. Don't know why that would be doing that. Alright, well, we're just gonna play the warping game. So this is that whole, if you don't come in tight enough, you're going to ricochet off the surface, or off the atmosphere. It's not necessarily a bad thing. We just did. It's not like we went shot off into deep space. Oh, in all fairness, I did have some engine work to get down to that. And that's all the more braking we're going to get out of that pass. This is where the stream is like watching paint dry. I did a mission earlier today where I had a flawless return. I could recircularize back at 75,000 and dropped right in on the Space Center. Simple as you please. Not today. Or not this flight. If this doesn't give me 360 science, I don't know what I'm going to do to get the rest of the science I need to be able to actually have one that can land on the surface. Maybe some biome science on the planet. Don't know. Guess we'll find out. Usually when I get my apoapsis down to around 200-ish, I'll dump this this life support and this these solar panels start using up my ablative. Drop frames again. Oh, for what it's worth, Bit, my I'm using something called Restream and Streamlabs, and it's telling me I've had 3 different events where I've lost up to 20 or 30% of my frames that I'm broadcasting. So it might not be you. That buffering thing you're saying, that might be me. I'm only at 8% CPU though, so I don't know why it's giving me so much trouble. Maybe it's just the time of the day, huh? It is prime time. So yeah, when I take a break from the stream here, I'm gonna head out to the garage and hook the computer up to the car again and see, now that it starts, see if it's throwing any specific codes. Supposed to go to a Renaissance Festival on Saturday, so that'll be a thing. And then I will be flying to LA on Monday. Andy will be joining me for that, so that'll be fun. And we'll be going out to LA for the week. I'll be working during the week, and she'll be adventuring around a bit. And then flying home on Friday. I'm not entirely sure what that weekend looks like. And then back in Michigan for 3-4 weeks. Huh. I don't know, Bit. That sounds like a real pain in the ass, really. I don't know why it's giving you such a hard time. And we're down to 700,000 meters. 730,000. But by the time we get out of the atmosphere, I bet should be close to 3 or 4 more of these, and I think we'll be there. Just keep warping it. Big arrow brakes. I don't know, Bit. What science do I need to do? I've done high orbit and low orbit of MUN. But I can't land anything on MUN. I do have the scanning mod. I think the scanning mod gives me science. I might have contracts that give me science too. Because I need 360 total to buy the critical pieces. So I'm losing about 70,000 kilometers each run. So 5 or 6, maybe more loops. Warpy, Warpy, Warpington. I thought you played Kerbal, but down in the 500s now. Five-day mission. Ugh. This should have taken 3 days. It's all these extra aero brake maneuvers. Well, for what it's worth, it is actually a lot of fun. I know I'm yawning a bit here, but long day fighting the car, and thought I had it, don't really have it. It's pain in the butt. So, but I'm a huge fan of Kerbal. I'm thinking I might stream some. Excuse me. I think I need to drink some tea. More about planetary. I can only imagine how you might have that amongst your knowledge. I imagine there's a very good reason why you would know those things, but I wouldn't know what it is. Nope, couldn't tell you why. But anyways, I have Elite Dangerous, and Elite Dangerous is a space exploration game. There's a huge initiative right now for people flying across the galaxy, and it's really cool what they're up to. And they've seen stuff in the game that nobody else has seen, and they're traveling for weeks at light speed, and they're still underway. Anyways, they flew past this system where everybody wanted to check it out because apparently the screenshots were awesome. And one of the planets had abnormally high gravity, and half the fleet or something silly got lost because they kept crashing into the planet trying to get these screenshots. It cracks me up. I'm still in a cargo ship for that. Still doing cargo runs. Trying to make up the money to buy a nice ship so I can explore the galaxy some. And then the other thing that's really neat in Elite Dangerous is there's an alien race, and they're super violent, and they destroy space stations and ships and stuff, and nobody knows anything about them, and they're really, really, really difficult to kill, and so on and so on. And there's obviously space pirates and renegade human factions, and there's multiple factions in the game that are at war with one another, and so just because a space station is safe one week doesn't mean it'll be safe the next. And missions to tour people around, visit science centers and grab data from them and bring them back, and deliver cargo and rescue missions and war efforts, taking fighter spacecraft and situations and whatnot. It's a lot of fun. And I have a particularly awesome uh, thing I bought called Voice Attack, and Voice Attack lets me control, send key presses basically based on vocal command. And Voice Attack also has direct integration with Elite Dangerous and other games like it. And my particular Voice Attack, I bought the pack that was voiced by Brett Spinner. Brett Spinner, is that his name? The guy who played Data. Also the scientist in Independence Day. And so it's a lot of fun to be flying the my spacecraft and have Brett Spinner talking to me and explaining the nature of things to me, and occasionally the Voice Attack it'll speak without prompting. Brent Spinner, thank you. It'll speak without, and Brett will be, Brent will be mimicking his time as Data and rattling off weird BS at you and whatnot. It's a lot of fun. That was on my old computer, and I have to wait for my new license to show up so I can run it on this new computer I just rebuilt, or just built. Absolutely everything in my new computer is new for the first time in my life. I have not cobbled together junk, and so I have a really nice case and all modern tech in it, and I put the RTX 2070 in it, and so massive amounts of graphics capabilities, and so far it has served exceptionally well. I was looking bit, and maybe it was an old DOS game. It was all ASCII art, and you could fly an Enterprise around a quadrant and see stars and planets and fight enemies, and it didn't really have an objective as far as I know. I played the hell out of it and never finished. But I can't remember the name of that stupid DOS game. I was trying to find it online, and I found a really old QBasic version that doesn't really cut it. Oh, something just dinged me. Oh, it's Discord. You sent me something on Discord. I have Kerbal up right now. You'll have to give me a bit. Yeah, the only exception to the ASCII characters. I think they designed their own ASCII character for the Klingon warbird. Otherwise, it was all regular ASCII characters. Black screen, white grid up in the left corner, yellow asterisk for a sun, solid gray dot for a planet. There's a link in Discord. Okay. Man, this recovery is taking forever. One more pass after this one, and I'll get rid of this. Probably land it finally. An hour into the stream, and maybe enough science. But I like to stream for 2 hours or so. So hopefully at the end of this we can have a landing. Yeah, it was a long time ago, dude. I haven't seen it in a long time, so. A lot of fun. I remember, and that's the funny thing about those old games, man. You remember them being fun, but they ain't no more. They ain't no more. You get on there and you start playing, and you're like, wow, this is This is not what I remember. Yeah, it takes a fair amount of time to learn how to pull this all together and make these missions work. Um, a lot of failed flights, let me tell you. This is going to be a successful failure right here. I didn't quite have the delta V to shrink this down. Yeah, probably gonna get away with one more. So the next time around, I think I will end up getting capture. I'll be going slow enough that I won't ricochet off the atmosphere. Maybe. Maybe. Maybe not. My orbital period is only 35 minutes, so even if I dump the life support and turn on the life support in the capsule, even if I have to aerobrake one more time, it my Kerbin won't die from lack of resources, because when I eject this engine, I'm only bringing home this much of the rocket, and my life support is extra weight. I don't want to try to have to land, so it's on the outside of my recovery. Surface up. No, I'm gonna hold on to it. I'm gonna get around 80. Yep, that's probably good enough. Surface up. So I'm going surface up so that when I eject this unit right here with this decoupling stage, it'll get far enough away from me I won't crash into it. But before I do that, I'm going to have to turn on life support inside the pieces that I'm going to keep on me, and also need to turn on the batteries. Get rid of that. And surface velocity minus, which keeps the heat shield presented into the direction of travel, and hopefully that gets it done. And when I do land on the Mun, I gotta remember to test the landing can while it's falling. Alright, here we go. Yeah, I think this will capture down because it's... Oh, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say. Oh yeah, this is definitely capture. Yep, we got it. We might even land in the ocean. There it is. When the camera switches like that, it's because you're no longer on an orbital path. You're on a suborbital path. And you'll notice that the periapsis is now a negative number, which means you're not going to... We're below the surface of the planet. You can see here the ablative carving off pretty quickly. But we're shedding speed. Oh, come on. I don't know why this rocket... Sometimes they're unstable for some reason. I don't know why. You see how it's hanging off the... I don't know. frustrating. I should probably stop warping. Well, I can warp until it shoots. And we're going to get a water landing. So our drogues are out. We can warp down to about 1,000. Get all the chutes out. 5 is perfect by me. And warp ourselves down to the ground. Well, if you have any questions about what I'm explaining, feel free to ask, by all means. It certainly doesn't hurt my feelings to answer questions. Huh? I know it's connected to YouTube. I'll have to find where it's streaming to YouTube. Though, to be honest, I'd prefer you to watch on Twitch, because at some point I'll get enough people watching and actually start to make a name for myself as a streamer. I don't know how far I want to take it, but... Oh, you know what? I bet you I can do science splashdown in the water. That'll give me a nice little 30, 40 science, I bet you. 283. I am short by 80 points. Not good. Not good at all. Definitely going to pick up the advanced. And I think I want to get fuel systems. Yeah, definitely going to get fuel systems. And not you, but you. That gives me landing struts. The landing struts are the important piece. Or are they? Is a ladder more important? Trying to decide if a ladder or landing struts are more important. How freaking tragic. Probably landing struts. And after that, definitely going to get exploration and propulsion. Propulsion or you? Should I be doing Rocco? No, I should probably get propulsion so I can get some satellites up. Yeah, its construction would be nice. Alright. Oh, nope, I wanted to stay in there. Go to the archives, pick up Kerbin, and surface splashed. Atmospheric, crew, EVA, goob, and temperature. I haven't done the materials, but materials alone won't be enough. Flying low, flying high, and space low and space high, and the water biomes. I could do a couple of flights to get into 2 or 3 different biomes and pick up some science. Probably gonna have to. Landing would be awkward without the struts. You're absolutely right. Yeah, the stream quality has to be good enough to make it worth your time, dude. That's for sure. Just bad internet where you're at, then? Or... Okay, so we're gonna do some local science. And we're just gonna call it local science. And we're gonna make it simple. So okay. Utility. That's a big version. You put the drogues on. Put the big sheets on. Open you up. Science. Drop underneath. What? One. Oh, that's right. I remember I had this trick. I put a bunch of them. See how they get symmetrical, and when you get them, so they right there. That's as tight as I can make them. So I go back to one, and now it should be centered. Just a little trick. This is the scanning tool, and I don't remember if it gets me science or not. I might have to put one of those up. Back jab. Right there. Probably not going to need batteries because we just stand close. Probably not going to need a heat shield. We'll decouple. And then I will just do some booster mojo. Okay, and then put some blades on this bad boy. And yeah. Get science for being on the shores and get science for being in the grasslands. Getting on the shore is going to be a real challenge. Almost makes more sense to drive it out there on some landing gear. That might be a thing. And then, yeah, that actually might be a thing. But this will get me up in the mountains and up into the highlands. So that is what we're going to do. Am I missing anything? No. I don't think I'm missing anything. About to find out. Wow, 6-1? Brutal, dude. That is brutal, dude. Sure you don't want to live in Lansing? I got a bedroom for rent. Alright. I'm going to change my heading to be going north. Yeah. I'm just going to go north. And I'm going to pitch to 85. Oops. Where's my drugs? Wasn't the right stage. So we're going to pitch down to 85. Yeah, I should probably over that landmass over there. Boy, that gets hot. Over that booster. See you later, buddy. These drogues will come out in a second. Maybe. Eventually. Oh, I'm still climbing. I'm actually going to be in space. Well, I'm definitely going to get pretty far up. I'm not quite to the pole, but picking up speed because there's not enough atmosphere to slow me down. There's some resistance. Finally hit enough atmosphere to start slowing down. Ah. And the first thing it does is goes lawn dart. Great. Well, hopefully it doesn't blow up. Hopefully I have enough time to get the drogues out. I do not know why it went lawn dart on me. It's the same exact rocket I've had a dozen times. At least it was only 6 minutes wasted. I'm going to put a smaller solid on this thing. Yeah. Way too much energy. This will more than enough get me to where I'm going. And it'll keep me in the atmosphere, which should be a lot more stable. And I think I'm going to go... I never even got a chance to do the science bit. I'm trying to do surface sciences around the planet, and I hate the flight simulator in Kerbal Space Program. There's like you can build jets and whatnot, and I am not a fan. So whatever. Surface. I'm gonna go on a heading of 320. I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'll just bend it over. That looks good. Oh, she's not happy. There we go. That's not so bad. Not gonna get into space that way. Surface velocity minus. Am I still climbing? Oh, I'm still climbing. That's probably gonna piss it off. I'm climbing all the way to 26. That's probably why. You. Still claiming 26.53, 4. It's going to be 26 and a half. And now I'm falling. Okay, hopefully this thing has enough reaction wheels to keep this lined up this time. Goofy bastard. You can always... Oh, shit. Where's the drugs? Where's the drugs? Those drugs out. Okay. Maybe I wasn't ready to do that. Disarm. Oops. Oh, I guess it was safe. You need to learn, like... You know how hard it is to do that? It's actually exactly what I'm going to do to land on the surface of the moon, though. But there's no atmosphere. So, yeah, no. It's a little easier. I don't know what my actual surface... So this shows sea level. It doesn't show altitude true, which is a lot of fun. So when altitude true is at 2,500, these drogues I put out should inflate, I guess. Yep, there we go. Okay, that looks good. And then when altitude is at 1,000 true, is when these other chutes can come up. Wow, we are in the mountains. Get those guys out. And no, Kerbal Space Program does not have collusion on parachutes. I could, in theory, do cut the drogues and then release the main chute and then releases the side chutes. That would create a realistic scenario where the chutes aren't getting jammed up in themselves. And we're out in the mountains, it looks like. It's a little dark, but hopefully we can get some good science from here. And just a couple from the ground. I'm going to go ahead and slow down the warp so I don't smash into the planet, because sometimes warp doesn't do nice things. And we're just going to do surface up, and that way the rocket holds itself steady. Oh, there it is. And we're going to do all of our science. Observe, open. Yeah, we're not going to get enough science for this. Observe. Really worth it. We're in Kerbin's Highlands. Okay. I think he gets his own parachute as part of Kerbal attachment. I think that's what that's showing me. So we're going to recover Jed. And then we're going to recover his little flight and see if it was worth doing. I think we started with... Okay, so we recovered him, and we got barely anything. We're still getting science for recovery. It's kind of cool. So we got 2.4 science for his walking about. So we had 14 to start with. Now we're going to recover his rocket, which is where the rest of the science is stashed. Hello, newcomer. Lazy Glass Man. How's it going, buddy? So we're going to grab this rocket here and recover it. Next. What's this? I have no idea what this is. C7 Aerospace Division. Why this new mods. I don't know anything about them yet, so. Lost debris. I'm doing good. I had a problem with the car and had it towed to a shop, and they said they fixed it, and you know they didn't. But I'm not driving anywhere in it anytime soon. I got a flight to LA. I'm not driving to LA, so you know. 1 by 1, 34 science. Archives. Kerbin. No, I still got Jed. I still got him. He ain't dead yet. Trying to kill him. Try to kill him. Not yet, though. I'm gonna try to motor off the runway here and pick up some easy science. Thing's gonna be fucking stupid heavy. I think somebody was following me. I don't know how to read my... I don't know how to read my thing yet. Why is that so backwards? Okay. Alright. Now, for the record, this isn't for flying. This is for just getting over to the shore and getting some science. So throw some science on there. I don't think I'm going to get to 90 science fussing around on the surface, though. I don't think I'm going to get it. Guess I really don't need a service module. Yeah, it's already on there. Okay, flip that bad boy around. Close this up. And I'm not going to need a parachute because I'm not going to go off the ground. Sure, why not? Launch! Anti-gravity build system. It'll be on the ground when it launches. It's not like it's going to fall from 70 meters up. See? You know. Okay, so I need to light the engine. I need to throttle up. Okay, I don't know why she's going over there. That didn't work. That didn't work. Needs wings. Get it off the ground. If I get it off the ground, I won't be able to land it. I guarantee it. I absolutely hate. Oh, crashed my game. Revert flight to launch. curious if there's any science to be had from the runway. I think it's going to count as crew report. Oh, there is science to be had here. Well, that's a freebie. I think there's a way to... There it goes. Turn the brakes on. Will this push me to 90? No. Will I get out and do an EVA of the biome? Damn straight. Ball on his head. It is a Mythbusters runway. I suppose if I upgraded the runway, it might be easier to take a jet off of it, because right now it's a dirt road. I don't want to spend the money on it. That's just what. That's all there is to it. I don't want to spend the money. 54. Man, getting closer. I am going to put a throttle limit on the yeah, I'm going to put a throttle limit on this, and if it's not burning as hard, maybe it'll be a little more stable. Because I don't have enough wing technology to actually take off. And even if I did, there's no feasible way I'm going to land it. I only have to go a little ways. So let's try it. I only have to get off into the grass to the right, and maybe if I'm feeling froggy. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Turn that throttle off. Go down the hill. Oh shit. Oh shit. Space Center. Well, that's good science. I'm gonna grab this science right here. Yeah, look at that. Wish I had customizable action groups. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Ta-da! Grind our way to 90 science to grab that last technology that makes a difference for landing successfully on the moon or not. Recover. Cover. 74. I think this very tedious approach is going to do the trick. I think we'll build a rocket that can land on the moon, and that'll be the stream today. Yeah, actually make it. Okay, so the trick was the thrust limiting, so that's awesome. Export to Steam. That's new. Yeah, let's launch. So we're going to do the same damn thing, but we're going to drive farther away so that we're in the grasslands, the low grasslands, or whatever it is they call it here. So throttle up, get moving, start turning. Kill the engine. So we want to cross over this grassy bit here slowly. Give a little bump. Give a little bump. It's like the rocket sled experiment, except there's no track. The sled goes wherever the hell we want it to go. And the goal is to get away from the station. I don't know why. I don't know why it's wiggling back and forth like that. Let's see if we're far enough away. Nope, still KSC. Meters per second. I wonder how fast that is. Far enough away now? Nope. Am I going? I hate being on the dark side of the planet. Guess I could do it this way. It is ghetto as hell, and it doesn't barely work. Ooh, better kill the throttle. It gets wiggly wobbly after 10 meters per second. But if it gets me the science I need, I'll take it. Curb and chores. That's good enough for me. Recycle. Make sure I'm still in the shores. Yep. Do the crew report. Observe the bay. Looks like some of these experiments are repeatable. Oh, thank you. I had a feeling you might know the answer to that bit. Or probably found it somehow. UVA report. No science result for shores. Must have already done this once. Cover the vessel. So the big question is, does this get me 90? And I'm guessing it's not going to. Holy crap! I can't believe that just worked. Oh man. There it is. There's my ladders. And my wheels too. With these I can actually drive around, but probably not going to take a rover anywhere anytime soon. Yeah. Well, right. I wonder what kind of... Nope. Surface of the Mun. Just ask Google. Of course you did. Alright, 2 science solutions. I've had crap luck with missions. Because of that, I got very little money and not actually enough to upgrade the launch pad, which is going to be a problem because I only have a 140-ton limit, and I'm betting that that's not going to cut it, and I don't know what I'm going to do. Because I need another 10 grand to upgrade the launch pad, and then I'm going to need 30-40 grand to run this mission. What do I got for utilities? I could take people on tours, but to take people on tours I'd have to cancel missions I have, or what's the mission? Fly by the Mun orbit of the Mun, for a grand total of, well, that would do it. Well, that wouldn't do it. That would pay to upgrade this thing. Okay, there, upgrade. And we're going to do an orbit of the Mun and recover. We got any other tourists? Not yet. Okay, tourist mission to pay the bills. Asinine. So this is not for science. This is just going to be like that. Put a pair of drogues on it. And we're just going to name this Tourist X2 because it takes 2 people plus the pilot. I'm going to put MechJeb on the outside. Control. Put mechanical. Battery. Put a shoot on that. I need heat. That's all we're bringing back right there. And then I need the ability to put some solar on this. 4 panels. I hate that these windows are so weird on this thing. So that works. Let's do that again. Okay, that should be enough. Yeah, that should be enough. Okay, need to couple it. And that is our return platform. These drogues go on their own action group. And I need some fuel and engine, and that is our return stage. Or, well, probably orbit and return. Then I need a coupler. That's fuel. Okay, put 2 on there. Engine, this one's going to be swivel. That's 4-3. Okay, and then I need coupling technology. 4 of them. So this is what I'm about to show you is early asparagus staging. Asparagus staging is a neat thing. Came out of the gaming community. NASA actually experimented with the concept of it. These are Reliance. Because it was determined that it actually might be efficient, and they're tinkering with the idea of using the technology. So I'm at 666 meters per second delta V. So we're going to put some cones on and some our wings on. Okay, 6583. So 6583. The idea here is that we can drain the tanks. Always keep the tanks full that we know we're going to have fuel for. So let me set this up and then I'll try to explain it. So 6572, right? 6572. We have these 4 decouplers right here, and what we're going to do is we're not going to carry the tank if there's not enough fuel to have any fuel in this tank, and also have the next tank full. So in this case, all 5 engines will be burning, and as I run out of fuel, this tank pair here and here will come empty. And when they're empty, it's just weight. It's empty fuel tanks. So ditch the fuel tanks, ditch the motors, and be left with the 3. And then when these 2 are empty and only the center is full, ditch those, and then you only have the center. And the trick to that is in the staging. So we're going to expand these guys out because we can grab these 2, and now we're 6787. So we gained 200 something delta V because we're ditching the tanks, right? And I mean, that's all we're doing, and it's extremely straightforward. Not a lot of fussing around. And as a rocket, this is now good to go. With tourists, don't forget to take the tourists. That's always a fun. And then, is there anything else I want to think about before I bounce? Life support. Of course I want life support. Oops. I'll throw some life support on this bad boy. $6,459 total delta V, more than enough to go places and do things. I could add some solids to this and get a little bit more, but 6.5 should be enough to get 1 orbit and return. And I don't want to spend a lot of money. The subjects, yes. Don't forget the test subjects. I don't think it costs very much to throw some boosters on this bad boy. So we're going to throw some boosters on. right that's centered on that thing? It's pretty high up though. Boop. Okay, and then I need some arrow. 1.34. That should be enough. And then there's something called the Kerbin duct tape, which are struts. Strut everything. And triangles are your friend. And those will keep these rocket, because they're going to flex on these decouplers, and we want to make sure that they don't flex and break away. So now we have 7,000 delta V, and I only had to spend an extra couple thousand to get there. All's the better. And this thing is going to have a very Russian look from the bottom, but that's fun. Oh, we're going to get a little bit more, I think, when I fix the delta. Or when I fix the staging, 7120. So these four get us off the ground and up into the atmosphere a little bit. They break away, then all my engines come along, and then I break away, and get the next engine, and yeah, okay. Save! Launch. So we're going to take... I don't think we're going to land on the moon with this stream, which sucks. But I don't want to spend more than 2.5 hours streaming, so sorry. So we're gonna use our launch trick. We're gonna find the moon and do the whole Kentucky windage game. So let's find out where the moon is relevant to the planet that's right behind us. It's a really fun spot for it. There we go. Should be able to see it. There it is. There's the moon right there. We're going to line it up with the bab. Maybe. She's coming. My tourists just need flyby and return, and I'll get a pile of cash for the problem. Okay, and throttle up now so I don't forget. Set the surface to up on mech jub. Launch. She's a heavy boy. Up we go. Hopefully I have enough everything. Find out. Something doesn't feel right. I don't know. Figure it out. There's not enough stages here. There we go. Engine was setting with the wrong decoupler. Yes. Ferry 2 tourists safely to their destination. I presume that means return. I presume that means you have to come back with them. No, I don't know. If I don't bring them back safely, I don't bring Jed back safely. If I don't bring Jed back safely, I gotta train a new pilot, which means extra missions with no financial reward, which is bad, because I already have a money problem. I have a huge money problem. Can't see diddly. There we go. Silhouette the rocket in the galaxy. That's the galaxy there. So yeah, you'll see these tanks are lower than this tank, because these two outside tanks are driving not only fuel to their engines, but also to the center. And as those become empty, it makes no more sense to keep them, right? And so in 5 seconds, those engines will no longer have fuel. And they don't. And so we get rid of them, and we get rid of their weight. Now the center has a full tank, and we're in space. And so this engine here, the engines on the outside were all Reliance, which are more efficient in atmosphere. This engine's swivel, which is more efficient in atmosphere or vacuum. Are you suggesting I jettison the crew capsule bit? Welcome to the moon, and this is where you'll stay. Another good trick is to make sure you set this as the target, and that way, as you climb, you can see the intercept. But you're not going to get intercept until you're around 1100 or 11 million. So. Only as the last resort. Jettison into the sun. Don't know what you're talking about. No passengers here. Only Jed. That does not sound like a good idea. I mean, it sounds like a great idea, but it does not sound like a good idea. So we're 2.5. By the time we run out of fuel, we'll probably be around 5. So this stage with 2000 is going to do all the work with pushing us around space. Again, at around 9, I like to throttle down so I don't blow past my target. I also switch to this view, and you can see your apoapsis is coming up to that moon there. And now we have target position at closest approach, right? And the goal is to bring these two dots together until you get an effect where the rocket enters the sphere of influence of gravity of the moon. And you can see it just jumped real close, right? There you go. Bang. And periapsis of the moon. Talk about Greek. Okay, periapsis of the moon is 300. Plenty to call it orbit. I think it just says orbit. It doesn't say... Yeah, it just says orbit around the moon. So, when we get to periapsis... Oh, look at that, I got maneuvering. We're going to add a maneuver to to decelerate until we get capture. Right now we're doing a gravity. Oh, you see right there I lost. I don't need to to get orbit. I don't need to get a tight orbit. Just like that. And so it'll take 262 delta V, which is a tenth of our total or so. And we'll be able to use the rest of that to do a nice casual return to the planet. Your moon trick. I watched this yesterday. Yes, shoot the politicians into the sun. So with all of this planning put together, because we upgraded and got advanced flight, right? So we can do all this planning stuff, and we can actually stack maneuvers. Because you see here, this is the hypothetical result of this burn maneuver where we did a retro burn, right? That's what this is. So I could add another one off this apoapsis here in the future, and do some stacked maneuvers until you get capture on another planet. But MechJeb has what is called a warp helper, because this is not real life, and we do not have to wait 1 day to get to the moon. So that would make the stream very long, and I would run out of things to talk about, even more than I do normally. But what we can do is we can use the warp in Kerbal to warp to the Sphere of Influence, SOI. And before we do, I'm just going to play it safe and kill the battery in the command module and all the life support in the command module. And that way I have these for the return. It'll use the life support here because it can't use the life support here, which is very handy because you get to the back of the planet and you have to do a gravity, or you have to do an aero brake, and you don't have the life support to pull it off. So with that done, yeah, we're gonna warp. I think we're gonna warp. We're gonna warp. We're gonna warp. The other thing MechJeb has when you get the technology is the maneuver planner, which we can use MechJeb to execute the next node. So we created the node, or you could have MechJeb create the node, right? But we're just gonna let MechJeb execute the node we created. You can also use this to clear all the nodes, which it could be handy because if you're not careful, you get a half dozen nodes trying to edit one. But this thing has a bunch of cool maneuvers that it can do. It can do transfer to other planets. It can do Hohmann transfers, change the apoapsis, change the inclinations, change the longitude of the ascending node. This is stupid handy for those weird satellite missions that frankly might be the source of the money to make it happen. Return from a moon. Have no idea how that works. We can experiment with it and transfer one planet to another planet. Kind of handy. So we're gonna execute the next node. So it's gonna line up with the node target on the gimbal, which is this blue equidistant triangle-y shaped thing. And once it's got a good line up on it, it's going to go ahead and warp. So the maneuvering planner is warping for us, right? And it's going to get to the warp. It needs to burn for 33 seconds. And so you'll notice that it's going to start the burn at about 15 seconds. And you'll see that with the throttle here, right? And there it goes. Test subject capsule. It's on the bottom. I don't think I want to ring it in heat shields so they can't look out the windows. That'd be uncool of me. Bink, there it is. And so now we have orbit of the moon. which if we open our objectives, we now flyby, and orbit, right? So now all we do is we go orbit prograde, and we're going to welcome to the moon. It's cool. Ta-da! There it is. Neat. Time to leave. And so we're just going to get exit. Now, when we exit, we're going to have this huge... Oh, I hate it when that happens. I don't know why that happens. No, I don't know why that's happening. I don't care. Because once I'm out, I can add some maneuvers to get back to where I need to be. Right. So here's the Earth. Well, here's the moon. And we're going to warp to the sphere of influence. Leave the moon. And blink. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to retrograde, right? Because our apoapsis is almost up to Minmus, which is the second moon of Kerbin. But we're going from here, we're going to burn our apoapsis down, and we're going to end up at our own apoapsis because the periapsis is our lowest point in orbit. There's a second encounter with the moon. And when the periapsis is at 80 or so kilometers, then 80 kilometers? I don't know. Doesn't make sense. Then we can, at the periapsis, get to the periapsis, burn all this extra speed down, maybe even circularize, because we have a lot of delta V in this particular rocket. So we're not pushing around all that science, right? And, yeah. Closer you get, slow down so you don't blow past the target and waste fuel to make solutions. Electricity is running out. Why is electricity running out? I don't know why. Whatever. Don't really care. Probably in the shadow of the moon from the sun. $90's good enough. Screw it. We'll just take it. My number. I like being at 80. So circularize at the next periapsis. Create the node. Don't execute the node on creation, because wow, does that get bad. It's going to use 863 delta of the 1400 we have left. Totally reasonable. But before we do that, we're going to figure out why we have... Oh, yeah. We're in the shadow of the Earth. So I'm just going to warp this a little bit. Okay, yeah, it's freaking out because I have no electricity. I have electricity, it's just... It's locked up in the cockpit. I have it turned off. I'm not too worried about it because I'm going to be in the sun here in a second and it'll charge right back up. Move this window over to one side, lock you in place, start warping. Now you have some electricity. Bamf. Alright, so power crisis averted. We have a node here to circularize, and once we're circularized, we can drop in. Don't forget to turn off the battery. Did I turn it on? No, it's still off. We're going to go ahead and execute that node. So the rocket's going to line up where it needs to be before we get there and before it starts warping. So this is the prograde symbol, but by the time we get around to where I want to burn, it'll be retro, right? So, oh, and it's going to warp for me. Duh. I'm sitting here trying to warp it. And there's the planet coming at me at 1,000,000 miles a minute. And this is a 1 minute 21 second burn. So it's going to need plenty of time. So it started a minute off. And you'll notice that our apoapsis is dropping drastically. And because we're circularizing, all we have to do is wait until we're over an ocean and kill our horizontal velocity until we land where we want to land. Another upgrade of MechJet actually allows you to click on the body that you're trying to land on, and it will set the rocket up to land on that point. So, really cool stuff. It plans a series of nodes and then executes it for you. Very safe way to land on planets, because it's one, it's very efficient. The computer is very efficient at it, and two, it sets everything up as best as it can. The only thing it can't do is land on hillsides, unless your rocket's designed to handle that. So we are circular. Now the only thing left is to pick our landing site. And our landing site, there's Kerbin right there. Or mission control, right? Oh wait, is it? It's on the backside of the planet? No, it's right there. So, what we're going to do is we're going to set up a maneuver to land right here. And I only have 570 left. So we're going to make sure we don't use too much of it. And we're going to move this over. Try to land where we need to. Screw it. We'll just let MechJet do the flying. So we'll be a couple hundred kilometers from where we... That's half what you say because of buffering. It sucks a bit. I'm sorry. Twitch is such a pain in the ass. I'll figure out what YouTube channel I have it linked to and what stream it's going to on YouTube. As soon as this is done burning, we're going to switch to up, dump the tank, switch to surface velocity negative, right? So we're going to go surface, up, and ditch the tank. Oh, yeah, right. We need life support. And do surface velocity negative. Turn the batteries back on. Yeah. Oops. My bad. Momentary lack of oxygen. Yeah, we're just gonna put this rocket back on the surface and call it good, because I'm probably gonna have to fly another tourist mission to have enough money to buy the parts to put a rocket on the moon. So um, the next stream will be probably a tourist mission, maybe two. The same thing we just did, which was 20 minutes worth of real time. It's 3 days worth of game time. Um, but yeah. Hopefully this thing's stable. Lights. Can you unmute Discord? Then I can hear you there. Well, you mean mute Discord? So the stream can't hear Discord talking? I don't have any way to do that. I can do that for a future stream. What I have to do is I have to pick which audio source goes out to Twitch. And right now all of my desktop audio, anything I can hear through my headset, Twitch can hear. So I'll have to set it up so that Discord is playing through my computer speakers while the rest of the game and everything else is playing through my headset. And that way I can hear you, but they can't, or something along those lines. Look at that. That's where we launched from. I don't know where it is, rather. I think it's right there. Yeah, that's it right there. That's the space station. Oh, again, it's a weird imbalance thing that this thing does. Do you get it? I don't understand it. It kind of irritates me. Get the drugs out. Yep. Actually, I don't know what that is. Some debris must have safely landed. Takeoff debris or something. Don't need you, don't need you, don't need you. Kind of don't need any of you, actually. Just get this thing landed. Alright, and that should slow us down. Warp it down to the next chutes. Oh, you can't hear me in Discord? Eh. Well, still have passengers, that's right. And if I don't forget to put out the primary chutes, I'll still have them. That might have been a mistake what was happening. Now, if I unmute Discord and you're trying to listen to the stream, you're not going to hear anything but my voice, right, Bit? But it doesn't matter. Well, I'll make sure it's set up a little bit better for voice chatting while streaming for future streams. Next to no science, pile of money. Basically, yeah, just almost paid for. Running that mission almost paid for the act of upgrading. You know, it says they're level 1 tourists. I don't know what that does for me. Four tourists. Kerbin, orbit around one. Oh, this is fantastic. It's two flights to pull it all off. It's two flights to pull it all off. But it would be the money I need, because that's 24, 48, 48, 48. Yeah, that's the money I need to build a lander. So we're gonna grab that mission. Mun, yeah. Test subjects. That's right, test subjects. And that will give me the money to upgrade the launch pad and also still have the money to build the rocket. So the beginning of next stream, we're going to run 2 ferry missions and build a landing capable rocket. Hopefully in one try. But we're at 2.5 hours, and that's where I like to cut it. So I am going to see everyone, which is bit, actively. I'll see y'all later.